Hello, welcome to my channel where we discuss the MCC laws of cricket. Today we'll be discussing Law 23 bye and leg bye. We all know what byes are. We do know that in case the bowler delivers a ball and it passes the striker without touching his bat or person, those runs are deemed as byes. One thing is that it has to be a properly delivered ball, because otherwise the ball would be called dead, and another condition being that it has not been called a wide. That of course is applicable because all runs taken off a wide will go to the wide column. So there is nothing like one wide and four byes. Like for in the case of no ball, it is one no ball and 4 runs to the bat, or byes or leg byes as the case may be. But if the delivery is a no ball, then the no ball will prevail over the wide ball call. That of course we learned this in the no ball law, Law 21. Now we come to what is a little critical, which is the matter of leg byes. Now, in the question of coming to the question of leg byes are only permitted to the striker only if there are two conditions are met. One of two conditions are met. That is that either he has to have made a genuine attempt to play that ball, in the opinion of the umpire, genuine attempt to play the ball. Then if he misses it and the ball strikes his person and goes away for runs, we'll allow that. And secondly, if he has tried to avoid being hit by the ball, he has tried to avoid being hit by the ball, in that case also leg byes will be permitted. So that is the basis of permitting leg byes. As we go ahead, we will see. And whenever leg bye is not allowed, where the striker has neither attempted to play the ball with a bat nor tried to avoid being hit by the ball. That is negatively stated in Law 23.3. Now, what happens that the rule, this 23.2.2 states the rule when you will allow leg byes and under what circumstances, how runs will be scored. If the ball first strikes the person of the striker, and one of the above circumstances, that means either he played it, that is a given, he has tried to play it, and or he's tried to avoid being avoid being hit by the ball, that is a given. If that is there, one of those two things are there. If the ball has hit his person and there is no contact with his bat, in that case leg byes will be allowed, because further contact with the bat will make it a played ball. It will go to the striker then. Here in that case, when there is no contact, it will go to leg byes. There should be never any contact with the bat. And also, or there is inadvertent contact with the striker's bat. There might be inadvertent contact with the striker's bat, in which case the ball runs will go to the striker. For instance, if he's gone down to play that ball and the ball strikes the pad and there is an inadvertent contact with the bat, it will go to the striker quite naturally. We have seen that often happen very often. Why this is particularly stated is that the deliberate contact after hitting the person, the deliberate contact, which will be termed as a second strike or hit the ball twice, there is a separate law dealing with it, which we will be discussing in some time. Here, only inadvertent contact will go, and then naturally, if the contact is deliberate, firstly you will have to decide whether he did it to guard his wicket, in which case if he has not, then he is out. And secondly, if he has done it to guard his wicket, no runs are going to be allowed, as we will see in that particular law. So here, leg byes, either there is no contact and only inadvertent contact. In the first case, leg byes, and second case they will go to the bat. That is how it is. We've seen it often enough. This is just a statement of the law. Nothing much here to talk about. Now, if the delivery of course were a no ball, 1 run penalty for the no ball shall be incurred. Leg byes not to be awarded as we have seen. the ball does not become dead for any other reason, the umpire shall call. And now what happens is, suppose there is the action now. This 23.3, besides negatively stating the law, tells us what should the umpires do in case he has padded the ball deliberately, so to say, or has made no attempt to play the ball, or has not even tried to avoid being hit by the ball. So he is not entitled to any runs. We are clear about that. In such a case, and as happens very often, the two batters take a run, attempt to run. The umpire is instructed to allow that run to happen, and as soon as they finish one run, he will call dead ball and ask them to go back. This is a case of disallowance of runs, and he will ask them to go back. If there is one batter, suppose a batter is out, run out at this end or whatever, the not out batter has to come to his original place, because this is again a matter of disallowance of runs. So in this case also he has to come back. The umpire has to allow this run to be taken and stop further proceeding once it is clear that the bowling side should not be deprived of a chance to run out either batsman. That is the idea. So let them secure their ground at opposite ends, at both ends. As soon as they do that, dead ball, and the instructions will be, please go back. No runs are allowed. No runs are allowed. So this finishes really law 23 by and leg by. And disallow any runs. No ball if applicable. We know that no ball will always stand, and any 5-run penalties that are applicable, except the penalty under law 28.3. As I have had occasion to explain earlier, law 28.3, the 5-run penalty, is different in nature. It is not arising out of an unfair act. Therefore, it is treated differently. This law says, in case of deliberate padding, other penalties which arise out of unfair actions of either the batters or the fielders will be given, but this one penalty will not be given, because it is more like accrual of runs rather than as a result, as a punishment for an unfair act. That the nature of that penalty is a little different. And I also mentioned this is one penalty which is never followed by a report. This is the only 5-run penalty which is never followed by a report to the authorities for further action, in recognition of the fact it is not an unfair act. Right? Now I have a small question. I have found some people erring in answering that question. I would want you to tell me what you think about it. The batter has deliberately padded the ball. He has made no attempt to play the ball, nor has he tried to avoid being hit by the ball. In both this case, and the ball hits his body. Somewhere it hits him on the pad or his shoulder or whatever, and his shouldered bat. The ball then touches his shouldered bat. He's raised his bat here. And the ball has come here, hit him here, and then took the shouldered bat and is caught by slip. That is one situation. Is caught by slip. Is that out? Is the question. That is one. And now suppose it evades slip and goes away to the boundary for 4 runs. How many runs would you give? That is the question. These are the two questions. Maybe you can put it in the comments. Then and I'm sure most people should be knowing the answer to this. But I had found at one time people were not very clear about the answer to this. Bye for now. In the next episode, we will be discussing a rather long law, which is Law 24, Fielders, Absence and Substitutes. Please read up the law so that you know what I am talking about. Alright, bye.